Gentlemen, I want you to stay with me for a moment because what we're about to talk about is something most men will never hear explained properly. Not from their friends, not from their family, and in many cases, not even from their doctor. And yet, it quietly affects how you feel every single day. Your energy, your confidence, your mood, your sleep, and yes, even your sense of being a man. Now let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and something just feels off? Not sick, not injured, just not the same. Your body feels slower, your mind feels heavier, your motivation feels distant, and somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this quiet thought. Is this just what happens now? If you've ever felt that, even once, then what you're about to hear matters more than you think. Because here's the truth that almost nobody explains clearly. Aging doesn't take your vitality away overnight. It happens gradually, through small shifts, small habits, and small misunderstandings about how your body actually works. And one of the biggest misunderstandings is something most men deal with privately, silently, and often with confusion. What you do with your body when no one else is watching. Now I want to make something very clear right from the beginning. This is not about judgment. This is not about telling you what you should or shouldn't do. This is about giving you clarity, so you can understand your body instead of guessing. Because when you understand something, you stop fearing it. And when you stop fearing it, you start using it the right way. Now let's go deeper. Because after the age of 50, your body begins to change in ways that are subtle but powerful. Your testosterone levels gradually decline. Your blood vessels become slightly less flexible. Your recovery takes longer. Your nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. And your prostate, the gland that most men never think about, begins to grow. That's normal. It happens to almost every man. But here's what most men don't realize. As your prostate changes, the way your body handles fluid changes too. When you were younger, your system was constantly active. There was natural flow, natural release, natural movement. But as life gets busier, relationships change, routines shift. That natural rhythm often slows down. And when that happens, something very important begins to happen inside your body. Stagnation. Now that word might sound simple, but its impact is not, because when fluid sits in the prostate for too long, it creates pressure, it increases inflammation, it reduces circulation, and over time, it can contribute to discomfort, urinary changes, and even more serious conditions. Now here's where everything shifts, because your body already has a built-in solution to this, a natural mechanism designed to keep things moving, balanced, and healthy. And that mechanism is something most men have been taught to ignore, suppress, or feel guilty about. Regular release. Now, I want you to pause for a second and really take that in, because this isn't about pleasure. This is about function. This is about biology doing what it was designed to do. Every time your body goes through that cycle, several things happen at once. Your prostate contracts, clearing out old fluid. Your blood flow increases, delivering oxygen and nutrients to critical tissues. Your nervous system resets, reducing accumulated tension, and your brain releases powerful chemicals that influence your mood, your clarity, and even your sleep. This is not random. This is not accidental. This is a system. And like any system, if you use it properly, it works. If you ignore it, it weakens. Now let me take you even deeper, because this is where most men start to understand what's really going on. Think about your body like a system of movement. Your heart pumps blood, your lungs move oxygen, your muscles contract and relax. Everything is designed around flow. But when something stops moving, it begins to decline. And that includes your sexual system. If there is no regular stimulation, no regular circulation, no regular activity, the tissues begin to lose responsiveness. The nerves become less sensitive, the blood flow becomes weaker, and over time, that leads to something many men fear: loss of function. Now here's the part that most men never connect. This doesn't happen suddenly. It happens slowly, quietly, and often without warning, until one day, you notice the difference, and by then, it feels like something has already been lost. But here's the truth. In many cases, it hasn't been lost. It's just been neglected. And the moment you reintroduce proper stimulation, proper circulation, proper rhythm, your body begins to respond again. Now I want to shift your perspective even further, because there's something else happening here that goes beyond the physical. Your brain, because your brain is not just involved in this process, it controls it. Every signal, every response, every sensation starts in your brain, and your brain adapts. That's what it does. If you stimulate it regularly, it stays active. If you ignore it, it becomes less responsive. And if you overstimulate it in the wrong way, it becomes dependent on patterns that don't translate to real-life experiences. This is where many men unknowingly create problems for themselves, not because they're doing something wrong, but because they're not aware of how their brain is adapting. Now let's talk about something important, something that almost no one says out loud: balance. Because everything we've talked about so far only works when balance is present. Too little, and the system slows down. Too much, and the system becomes strained. And your body will always tell you which direction you're going, but only if you're paying attention. Let me explain what that looks like. If you go too long without any activity, you may notice heaviness, reduced sensitivity, lower energy, less responsiveness. But if you go too far in the other direction, you may notice fatigue, irritation, temporary drops in motivation, or a feeling of depletion. Both are signals and both matter, because your body is constantly communicating with you. The question is, are you listening? Now there's another layer to this that most men carry without even realizing it. Guilt. Not physical guilt, emotional guilt, something that was learned, not something that was natural. Messages from the past, things you were told when you were younger, beliefs that stayed with you, even when they no longer made sense, and that guilt creates tension, because your mind says one thing, and your body says another, and that conflict raises stress levels, increases cortisol, and slowly begins to affect your overall health. This is why understanding matters, because when you replace guilt with awareness, everything changes. Your body relaxes, your mind becomes clearer, and the natural benefits of your body's systems actually begin to work properly again. Now let's bring everything together in a way that's simple, clear, and practical. Because I don't want you walking away from this with just information. I want you walking away with understanding. Here's what matters. Your body needs movement. Your system needs circulation. Your prostate needs regular clearing. Your brain needs balanced stimulation. And your mind needs freedom from unnecessary guilt. When all of those things come together, something powerful happens. Your energy becomes more stable. Your mood becomes more balanced. Your sleep becomes deeper. Your confidence begins to return quietly, naturally, without forcing it. And here's the part most men don't expect. When your internal system starts working again, it shows on the outside, in the way you walk, in the way you speak, in the way you carry yourself. And people notice, not because they know what you're doing, but because they can feel the difference. That's what real vitality looks like. It's not loud, it's not forced, it's steady. Now I want to leave you with something that matters more than anything else we've talked about. You are not broken. Your body is not failing you. Your body is responding to how you treat it. Every day, every habit, every pattern, And when you start working with your body, instead of ignoring it, it starts working for you again. Now, before you go, I want you to do something simple. Not for me. For yourself. Type this in the comments. I choose awareness. Because that one sentence means something. It means you're no longer guessing. It means you're paying attention. And it means you're taking control of something most men leave to chance. And that alone puts you ahead. Now stay with me, because in the next video, we're going to go even deeper into something most men completely overlook. The specific daily habits that quietly destroy your energy after 50, and how to reverse them faster than you think. You don't want to miss that.